New year, new me? Nah, it's still us, boys. The Get It Right Saturday Night podcast is back with another episode. I'm your host, Mark Francis, with my fellow co-host, Colin Fursley.
How y'all doing?
And we got Oscar Morale looking very snazzy today. I know you guys missed us, and we're sorry to be gone for a while, but we had our fun during winter break. But now, it's time. School's back, pod's back. Let's get right into it.
Yep, yeah, it was a lot of fun. But finally back, and we've been gone for a while, so there is a lot of information to get to. Let's start it off in the NBA, the biggest NBA story of the entire season so far. It will probably be overall throughout the entire season, but unfortunately, it sucks for us. It's Mr. Jimmy Butler. He has decided, as I'm sure you guys all know, that he wants to leave Miami. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, but I mean, there's not a whole lot of options. But Oscar, I'll start off with you. What do you think about this whole situation?
Well, I think the very interesting thing about this situation specifically is Jimmy. I mean, his whole stint at Miami, at least, his whole time that he's been at Miami so far, has always said pretty much the same thing. This is the last team I want to play for. I'm going to retire in a Miami Heat jersey. It's a match made in heaven. My work ethic aligns with their work ethic. My mindset aligns with their mindset. And he even, in one interview specifically that I recall, also mentions that his goal is to eventually win a championship for the Miami Heat one day. Clearly, that's no longer the case, and he wants out. Which is, I think, the very interesting thing because, over the last 4 years, I feel like he has done everything in his power. But I feel the sudden change in heart, the sudden change in tone, it is a little drastic. And I do feel like if your goal is to win in Miami, you would do everything in your ability to do that. And we've seen players do this before, like Dirk Nowitzki, Steph Curry, and other players, and that is to take a pay cut. But clearly, Mr. Butler wants his money, and I respect that completely. And off he goes to a new team one of these days, probably.
Yeah, so let me ask you, where do you think he is going to get traded? Because there's really not that many teams that he can get traded to based off the contract situation and all that sort of thing. So one of the only team that was really gaining traction was the Suns because he wants to go play for Phoenix, and the only player that they could trade would be Bradley Beal. However, he has a no trade
No
clause and
trade
he doesn't want
clause.
to exercise that.
Exactly.
So, I honestly, in my opinion, I don't think he's going to leave. I think he's going to stay with us throughout the whole season. I don't know where he would get traded to. I don't know how he would get traded unless something last minute comes up.
The thing
I think
is,
he's
the
yeah,
thing is, Colin, at least you look at it from business side of things. If you're the Miami Heat, it's in your best interest to make this trade, rather than if he doesn't want to play at all. So, I believe it was 2 or 3 days ago. Jimmy Butler and Pat Riley actually had a face-to-face, and he told Pat Riley he's leaving either way. Even if you don't trade him, he said, I'm going to leave at the end of the year during free agency.
No, he said he will exercise his $52 million option if he doesn't get any higher offer from any other team, and then he will still rally to be traded next year. Um,
yeah.
so one
I'm
way or
just saying I
another,
don't think he'll be
it's
traded this year.
yeah. Let me
Well, the
let me
point
let, let me
is,
pitch in real quick.
yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Um,
While I
you
look
know,
for the meeting.
Jimmy came here with a goal, right? And he's fallen short 2 times. Okay, and he's fallen short every time. Okay. Um, and everyone says Jimmy's numbers gonna be retired, isn't be in the rafters, yada yada yada. Because I mean, really, Jimmy, he's a personality for Miami, right? He brings people to want to love basketball, especially in the city of Miami, right? We've seen it with people that love Neymar. Him and Neymar are friends. They love Neymar. They love Jimmy. They love Jimmy. They love the Miami Heat. It all comes down to business, right? In that aspect. But I don't think it's I don't think fair is the right word to say because I mean, he's old. He's 35 years old, right? He wants to win a chip. His career is coming to an end. He's not going to play until he's 45 like LeBron, right? And he probably has maybe 2 years, 3 years maximum left in his league. And although he says he's still in his prime, he's not in his prime. And I think that's evident from this year. It's evident from his injury history. We know playoff Jimmy is a threat. We know he turns it on in the playoffs. And we know for the fact that he's pissed that Miami didn't sign anyone else, right? But again, if you want to win that chip, you have to sacrifice something. And in Jimmy's case, you've got to take a freaking pay cut. And of course, in Pat Riley's case, I mean, there's the stuff that he can't be saying to the public. But again, it's Pat Riley. It's one of the most respected owners and general managers ever, right? And he doesn't care what you say or don't say. We saw it. Wade left. Dwayne Wade left. He ended up coming back because he loves the city and like Miami's his home. But he left. Pat Riley didn't give a shit. He doesn't care, right? And it's the same thing that's gonna happen with Jimmy. They're not gonna trade him because they're not gonna get anything in return. He sees him as a star. He wants a star in return. I think the only plausible trade is if we see De'Aaron Fox come into Miami. And I feel like I mentioned this with Colin before. De'Aaron Fox is a great player. But he's not leaving Sacramento. In Sacramento right now, who knows what's going on? They fired their head coach, all this weird stuff going on. Who knows, right? Jimmy's not leaving. Jimmy's not going to get a better offer than his like extra year offer, whatever they call it, which is $52 million from us. He's going to go to any other team. They're going to give him 25, 27, 30, 32 max, right?
Exactly.
He's going to sign with Miami again for next year. He's going to exercise his right, whatever thing it's called. I'm not
Player
I don't know.
option.
Player option. He's gonna exercise his player option for 52 mil, and he's gonna be displeased next year also. What I think the Miami Heat should do, just sign someone, man. I mean, just get us someone that Jimmy will be satisfied. Jimmy's pissed because I mean, look, I saw it on ESPN. It's like 2 days ago. He's pissed that we signed Thomas Bryan and some other guy. I don't know. Some bums, right? Of course. But they're signed to $2 million deals. You can't sign anyone else because you're taking a third of the cap space. You have Duncan Robinson taking 100 mil. You have Tyler Hero, who is he on his last year on his rookie contract or whatever, or he already signed the new one?
I don't know.
I think he might be on his last year of his rookie.
He's on his last year. You got to pay that, man.
He's a rookie extension. Actually, is what he's on currently.
He's on a rookie extension. He might have a year or two left in it. And you have Bam, who Bam is Bam. Okay. Someone has to come into Miami that will be like a game changer, and clearly Jimmy doesn't see that in Tyler or Bam or Khalil Ware or Jaime Jaquez, any of these guys, right? And I mean, Terry Rozier, we thought that was going to be great. He was playing great in Boston. He was playing great in Charlotte. Comes here now, he's dog water. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I don't think he's leaving, though. I'll be so honest. And his jersey was going to get retired in the rafters. That ain't happening no more. I don't think so. I think when you piss off Pat Riley, you dumb messed up.
So actually, Tyler Hero is on his first year of his brand new contract. That is a 3-year, $30 million, 4-year, $120 million contract.
He was about to say, look at that, only 30 mil?
On a base annual salary, average salary of 30 mil a year. So
yeah,
that's respectable. 30 million for a player like Tyler Hero. The way he's playing this year, he can be paid 45. He's playing amazing, out of his mind, leading.
Not too much.
He could be all NBA. He could be all pro, whatever whatever.
Yeah.
NBA does, Pro Bowl. I don't know. Okay, whatever. Jimmy, what the heck, dude? I love you, bro.
All-star? Yes, he can be an all-star. Yes.
Yeah, all-star.
I don't think he's going to be, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, that's that. There's a whole lot more to talk about with this situation, but let's stick with the NBA for a little bit. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, just quickly. I think it is in the Heat's interest to look for a trade, though, because even though Butler verbally has said about wanting to opt into his player option in case he doesn't get traded for the money, you never know what can happen. He doesn't have to opt into it. If somebody comes beckoning with a really good offer and wants to sign Jimmy for a ridiculous amount of money, he can just leave whenever he wants to in the summer. I think if
Yeah.
I was the Miami Heat's front office, and on a business side of things, just so I give myself some insurance on this, and not bank on the player who's clearly frustrated and wants out, I would look for a trade. And honestly, F it, give me the picks. Like, at least me personally. That's just, besides, analyzing and giving you a report on this situation, just get some picks for Jimmy. A lot of good first round picks you can probably get for him, and start building a base towards the new era or the new segment of the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
That's the good thing to do. I think that's what they should do. I just don't think the front office is looking for the picks. I think that they're looking for someone to replace Jimmy,
And
which
to
is
win
the
now,
issue.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Um,
they're in that win now mentality, the run it back mentality. We've made it to the finals 2 out of the last 5 years or something, and we've fallen short every time. Like, I guess we're still living in this bubble, and I think we got to move out of that. We're seeing all these really young teams like OKC, who, I mean, they still have like 11 picks over the next 7 years or something, which is absurd. And they're one of the best teams in the NBA, if not the best. So
yeah, Colin, I'd just like to say what an incredible picture you've decided to take for Jimmy Butler. I just think it's funny how he's like mid-blink. It's
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
bro,
It's very fitting.
he's probably zooted out of his mind on some big face coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. All right.
I'm
Let's.
trying to go there, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want
it's
to go
expensive.
there.
the store is actually, yeah, it is expensive, but the store is supposedly really good.
Yeah, man. If you go, let me know how it is. All right. Let's stick with the NBA. But now let's take a look, just a general look at the overall standings of the league. So obviously the Cavaliers are still in first place in the East, and they have the best record uh, in the entire league. And the Celtics have slid back a little bit. I believe, well, they're 6-4 of the last 10 games, but I think if you go back a little bit more, their record's a little worse. And the Knicks are catching up. They're only 3 games behind the Celtics now. And then you got the Magic, the Bucks, the Pacers.
That
The
the
Bucks
Magic have been
starting
playing
off.
good with many of their key players being
Yep,
injured. So
Yep.
a
that is
lot of
true.
respect and I want to commend the Magic for that, because they're playing as a great unit right now. I, they've been on the come up in the last few years, and this year we're seeing the fruits of their labor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very true. The Milwaukee Bucks, they started off pretty poorly, but they've been on a heater as of late. Fifth, and the Pacers are sixth. The Heat are seventh. The Heat, without Jimmy, they're staying afloat. They're just hovering above 500, so
Yeah.
it's not looking terrible. The Pistons, surprisingly, they're in the play-in. That's pretty good for them.
Oh
And
yeah.
then the Hawks,
Brother.
Bulls, Sixers looking really bad. Nets, Raptors, Hornets, and Wizards. You guys have any comments on the East?
The Sixers, what a fall from grace. Not even grace, but what a fall from mediocrity. Uh,
Yeah.
Embiid has been basically non-existent. I think he's only played a few games this year, before getting injured again, like he always does. Paul George has done jack nothing, and Tyrese Maxey is withering and rotting away on a absolute joke of a team. Please get that man out of Philadelphia and onto a team where he can actually contribute valuable minutes towards a great organization or franchise. That's what I have to say about the Sixers, man. Just a joke
Yeah.
of a team.
The Sixers are experiencing what I call the Kyle Lowry effect, becoming
What?
absolute dog water when Kyle Lowry's on your team.
Oh my
um,
God.
no,
I disagree with that.
I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Why not? That's how.
76ers, really just surprising. The Hawks as well. It seems like on paper they have a group of studs. Everyone's playing well. Dyson Daniels, Trey Young, all these guys. I mean, they're playing well. Their record doesn't show it. Pistons are on a heater. Pacers have also been on a heater. I think they've won their last they won like 7 in a row until yesterday or something. So they're on a heater a little bit. But really, the East is you have your three top teams, and after that, everyone's within a game. And the West is very different. I'm pretty sure like some guys like the eighth seed in the East is like the 11th seed in the West or something crazy like that.
Yeah, the
Um,
West is definitely a
Much
lot
better.
uh a lot stronger, especially
yeah,
on the top half. So the Thunder, obviously the best team there. Um, and then the Rockets are second, which is kind of surprising to me. I mean, they have a lot of really good young players, but I would not have expected them to be second place.
yeah,
And then the Grizzlies, John Morant, obviously doing very well. The Nuggets have been playing better as of late.
yes,
And
sir.
then you got the Clippers, the Mavericks without Luca. They haven't had Luca for like a month. I know because my fantasy team is really struggling without him. And then the Lakers, Timberwolves. I mean, you guys can read the rest. But I know, Mark, you wanted to point out one specific team that started off really, really well, and now they've fallen all the way back, and that is the team from San Francisco.
Yep, Golden State, man. What I'm just a little confused what's going on, you know? They started off
What
super hot.
happened?
Um and something just some bad mojo clicked. I'm not sure. Steve Kerr doesn't seem to care. I don't know why. Curry seems to be like are we seeing the first regression of Steph Curry's career? Is this the first year we're seeing regression for Curry? Is he out of his prime? It's possible. Could the end of his career be coming? It's possible. Also, Warriors are front runners for Jimmy. Are they going to trade for Jimmy? Would that give him a push into the playoffs? I don't know. All I know is that, when they built their team around Curry, um, and Curry's now he's getting older. He's nearing retirement. Who knows what the future looks like for them, and it's probably not super bright. Uh, but just really interesting. I don't know what happened. I really don't know. They're doing great. They were first, and now they dropped to 12th. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty surprising. Um, Oscar, any comments?
I think with them specifically, I think they did have a really, really good start, but it's just been sort of a makeshift unit since then. They acquired Dennis Schroeder at some point in this season, earlier in the season, I believe it was November or early December.
Yeah,
He's probably a good piece for them. Provides consistency. You know, he's a championship caliber player. He's been on championship teams, at least on the Lakers that I recall. He's always been a consistent player. He actually won the FIBA World Cup with Germany last year. Well, 2023 now, so 2 years ago technically. Um, so that's a good acquisition on their part, but it's just they haven't really clicked like Mark said. Just something's been going off. Whether I really don't think it's that much on Curry. He has had a regression this year, but nothing to where I'm saying, oh my God, the house is falling with him specifically. I'd like to actually point out the Spurs. I'm a little disappointed in them specifically. Wembanyama's been playing out of his mind. But I really think with the addition of Chris Paul, I was expecting this team to be at least a little bit better, maybe in that 6 or 5 spot, where the Clippers are actually, which I did not expect that from them at all this year.
The Clips. Who would have
Yeah.
known?
Um,
well, they're only 2 games back of them. It's just there are so many teams that are tied right in the middle there that it looks like they're
Yeah.
far away.
no,
But in reality, it's only a couple games.
I know, but it's gonna stay like this pretty much up until like a week or two before the playoffs. So they're at, I
So,
did expect the Spurs to be a bit over 500. They're at 500 right now, 19 and 19. I did expect them to be a bit better than that. Chris Paul usually, while I'm not the biggest advocate for adding him to a championship roster for obvious reasons, um, I would say he's a great addition to any team because he does bring so much experience, so much value, and is still just such a great, smart player that will teach a lot of young players, and that's what they have in San Antonio. He's the perfect vet to have on your team. That's really what he's become. And Yeah, I just expected a little bit more out of it, and hopefully I can see that in the second half of the season now. I'm really excited to see what comes out of the Spurs in these next few years, man, because it's probably going to be some generational stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
one last thing I thought I'd mention. The
Hmm.
Timberwolves, man. They traded Cat, and they've regressed. Last year, they were fighting for the number one seed. I think they lost it right at the end, like the last week or so. But they were an amazing team. And now, I mean, they're barely hovering over 500. Um, but we've seen some clips, at least I've seen it, of Anthony Edwards' displeasure on being double teamed, which I think cracked me up a little bit because that's the way of the game, Brody. That's the way of the game. If you're good, you're gonna get double teamed. When we're playing with Colin, and we got double team him, bro, and he still hits some
I've
crazy fade.
never been double
And
teamed, bro.
no, no,
You
you don't
just
know.
made that up.
No, it's not on God. And Colin hits Colin hits some crazy Hakeem Olajuwon bing bing fadeaway 3-pointer and banks it in every time. Um,
Oh
but
yes,
but
a bing
But
bing fadeaway three
no,
pointer.
and
Exactly what Hakeem would do.
exactly, and Elijah one, bing, bing, fade
uh,
away three.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Look.
You know, you know Hakeem, known for those fadeaway three
No for
pointers.
them fadeaway. Look, I'm
The
just saying,
dream
man.
shake
Once again, Mark
threes.
Francis
It,
doesn't know ball.
I do
If you
not know
need to know
ball.
ball,
The only ball I know is I might swerve in the corner. Whoa.
Hey!
Yeah, yo. LeVar Ball knew, bro. LeVar
Yeah.
Ball knew. But
Yo,
no,
speaking of the NBA, yeah, this is the resurgence of the Ball brothers this year, man. You got Jello dropping the song of the year so far in the very early weeks of 2025.
the song of the year.
You have the return of Lonzo Ball, and LaMelo is actually leading the NBA in All-Star votes for the Eastern Conference. So, who would
Wow.
have thought that?
Wow, very impressive stuff there.
Yeah. The return of BBB, Big Baller Brand.
Yep.
Definitely
Indeed.
the only thing that BBB means and nothing else.
Exactly. So, that's it for basketball
well,
for this week. Let's
Phoenix
move a little
Suns
bit.
just traded
Oh my
for
God.
Nick Richards from
Oh
Charlotte.
Who
my
the heck
God.
cares, bro? No one
Big
You
cares.
man,
inter-
I don't
You
know.
interrupted for that. I thought something genuine just happened.
Sorry,
know.
I saw Phoenix Suns traded. I was like, oh,
Okay.
Why you read
Yeah,
that?
thought
that's
Jimmy
fair.
was gone.
That's fair. All right. Well, oh, by the way, Jimmy Butler is coming back next game, so that'll be
Yeah.
interesting.
After
Um,
the 8
All
game
that
Alright.
just for him to drop 8 points and shoot a 3-pointer on 1 foot and not care.
Absolutely.
We'll
All
see.
Freaking
right.
hate
Let's
that
move
guy.
into some college football. So first off, a couple things to talk about. Let's talk about news that happened kind of a while ago at this point, but it's just really big that we have to mention it. The University of North Carolina hired Bill Belichick to be the next head coach. Frankly, I'm a little surprised that he went to college. It's kind of hard envisioning this man as a college head coach. However, I am very pleased because I don't want him in the NFL anymore, and I don't need him breaking anyone's records. So you can stay in college, all right? It's fine. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna work. I'm very curious to see how many recruits he's gonna get because I feel like everyone would want to play for Bill Belichick. He's legendary, but also he's known for, you know, he's a hard coach, really tough on his players. In this new era of NIL, are players who are gonna get paid millions of dollars to play. Most of them now, they just kind of want to sit down, not really work, play football whenever they feel like it. But this man, he's not gonna take any of that. He's gonna push his players hard, and I don't know if a lot of players are gonna want um, to go into a program where they know that they're gonna be uh, like coached really, really hard. So
Absolutely.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, first of all, look at that smile, man. Look at that smile. He wants to be there, bro. Like, when was the last time we saw Bill Belichick smile? I don't know. I don't remember. Um, but again, he's in a different era of college football, of course, with the NIL deals now. But I think he'll be just fine. He's a talented head coach. He's gonna get recruits because of his ability to generate players to be ready for the NFL. Um, I think for someone who goes to college as a D1 athlete, Their every D1 athlete's goal is to go to at least in the NFL is to go to the NFL or the MLB or NBA, whatever, right? They want to go to the majors, right? Um, and someone like Bill Belichick will get you ready, man. So if someone declines extra $1 million from Bama, goes to UNC, um, and gets insane NFL coaching experience from a guy like Bill Belichick, man, I think that's a win in my book. I think he'll do fine. Who knows? Maybe this team will make a playoffs at some point. Do I think so? No. Um, but again, it's Bill Belichick. You never know what he's got up his sleeve. He's a talented head coach, so I'm excited for this
Yeah, very
new era
true.
at Chapel Hill.
Very, very true.
Here's the thing. I think this is going to be a very interesting addition to college football, and here's why. Because it's going to be what you guys were just talking about, that name brand of Bill Belichick, and he doesn't play around. If he considers you soft, if he thinks you're just there for the money, I don't even think he'll recruit you. I don't even think he'll want you on your team. So it's going to be very interesting to see what type of teams he comes up with and he makes in college football, and what type of players he's going to attract, or what type of players he's going to want to coach, because he has the name power to already be in that position even year one, compared to these NIL teams. And UM is no stranger to that. I mean, they just paid one of the biggest acquisitions of the transfer portal, $4 million to come, which we'll talk about shortly here now. So I don't think he's going to be one of those coaches that's going to be dishing out money like that. Or at least I don't think that's the way he's going to want to run his program. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see the battle of those two philosophies and how successful he'll be in college football. Now, granted, he's not in a particularly strong conference. He's not joining the SEC or the Big Ten. But even the Big Ten, I don't think is that strong. He's not joining the SEC, which is a very, very competitive conference. He's in the ACC, so I think he can definitely make some teams that'll make some noise. But yeah, let's see. I'm very excited to see this, and I think there's gonna be a lot of funny stories that are gonna come out of this era. So I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think
Listen,
it's gonna
man,
be pretty
to,
fun.
to all the guys that go to UNC that's got girlfriends, watch out, bro. Bill Belichick might come in and sweep away your girl.
Oh my god.
Oh, Mark. Oh,
If you know,
Mark.
you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to that next person that Oscar was alluding to. So UM paid $4 million to have this guy play quarterback for their team. Carson Beck, the former quarterback of the Georgia Bulldogs. $4 million is a lot of money. If I'm
Oh, buddy.
UM, if I'm UM personally, I'm happy because you have an established quarterback playing for your program. It's
Indeed.
better than going out and getting a recruit that might be good, might not be good. However, his ceiling is pretty set. Like, he's not going to get much better than he's been playing the last couple years. And to be honest, he's been on a little downward trajectory. Now, maybe on UM he'll play a little bit better than he did with Georgia, but last year he was not very good. So, he's not going to be bad, but you also know he's not going to be great. Like, you're not getting Cam Ward out of him. It's going to be somewhere in between. It depends what you're thinking, but I mean, Oscar, obviously, I'll turn it over to you.
Oh, no. Mark, go ahead. I'll save my comments for last on this
Oh,
one.
all right.
Yeah.
We all know why he went to UM, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
To be with
That's
his
a good
girlfriend.
point.
Okay.
That's a good point.
He's getting paid $4 million to hang out with the Huz, aka his girlfriend, and he's just going to play football for, honestly, a great team. So I think he's having fun. Is this his last year of eligibility? I'm pretty sure. Or
Yeah,
not?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going there to have fun. UM is so a contender. He's got his girlfriend there with him. Come on, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Oscar?
I'll say this. Like, to comment on what you guys were saying, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's no Cam Ward. Nobody is. But,
Oh my God.
but I think also the team is going to evolve into a different type of team next year. I think we're going to be a lot more run heavy, run focused team next year. We lost a lot of our receiving options. Obviously, we don't have the same arm talent, but we need a consistent, level-headed, experienced quarterback, and that's exactly what Carson Beck is. He does look a little funny, looks a little like a vampire, but I digress. Um, I do digress there. Now on a business side of things, this is actually the smartest thing Carson Beck could have done for himself, and whoever his NIL representative is, Carson Beck should be, extremely thankful and extremely, pleased with this deal that got done for him. Because if you look at it, Carson Beck draft stock, when he did declare for the draft, was projected to be probably very late first round, and that was being optimistic based on what you were saying, Colin, that he had actually regressed slightly in his last year at UGA, or potentially and more probably a second or third day acquisition in the draft. Now, what does that mean for his contract? If he's a late first rounder, he's probably looking at $2.5 to $2 million per year on his contract on a 4-year deal, and that's being optimistic, like I said, if he gets picked late in the first round on the first day. What was more likely was that he was a second or third day acquisition, putting him at around $1 million deal per year for 4 years. And he's going to make that in 1 year here in Miami. And now we saw the same thing happen with Cameron Ward when he was at Washington State the year before and decided to declare for the draft, didn't like his stock, and then went to transfer portal, transferred to Miami, and now he's probably going to be a top 5 pick, giving him a lot more money. So hopefully Carson Beck, that's what he has in mind. That's probably what he's going to want to go for. And I think it's probably going to be super successful. I mean, obviously we haven't seen even a single snap or training camp for any of the other quarterbacks that are going to be eligible next year for the draft as well. And he would probably be the favorite as of right now. But yeah, I think on the business side of things, this is the best financial decision he could have done, because at least he's getting $4 million to play that extra year, guaranteed, regardless of what happens, which he pockets and obviously will invest and probably spend very wisely if he's a smart man and listens to his advisors.
He's gonna take his girlfriend to Nobu. It's fine.
Absolutely. I mean, he can. At least on a beautiful date night. I don't see why not. But yeah, I mean, and then if all things go well for him, he'll probably be a top 10 or at least a first half pick of the draft next year if he plays better and if he shows improvement compared to last year.
I think he will. He will.
He probably will, because the offense, like I said, probably won't be as dependent on him as it was on Cam Ward this year. And so it'll just make him look better. It probably will, in my opinion. Again, it's far too early to truly say, but at least on a business side of things, this was the best decision he could have done for himself. So good on you, Carson Beck.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, well, that is it with the specific news. Now let's get to the most important game of the entire season. It is finally here. It is coming next Monday, next week. The 2025 College Football National Championship.
Yep.
The first championship under the 12-team playoff. It is Ohio State versus Notre Dame.
Coach Tanner, bro. Coach Tanner. He's so happy right now.
So this is, I think it's going to be a very, very, very good matchup. I'm very excited for it. It's on January 20th in Atlanta, Georgia. And I think you got one of the best offenses, if not the best offense in the entire country, in Ohio State going up against one of the best defenses in the country in Notre Dame. I think that side of the ball is going to be very, very entertaining to watch. Personally, I'm an Ohio State supporter, so I'm going for Ohio State. Also, I genuinely think they're going to win. However, I do also really like Notre Dame. I've liked them from the beginning. I thought that they were a good team. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of picked them to make the national championship. So I'm glad my picks are happening.
What? When?
But, well, no, like not on the podcast,
Oh,
obviously,
I
but I'm
was
like saying
like,
to myself.
If it ain't on the
Yeah,
pod, it ain't happening there, brother.
yeah. All right, fine, fine,
Nah, I'm
fine,
just
fine. But I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a great game. I got Ohio State, obviously, but um, yeah. What do you guys think about this matchup?
yeah. First, let me just begin. Everything that's happened in this playoff is very unexpected. I'm gonna be very honest. Um, we saw Oregon lose in a very, very embarrassing fashion. Um, and we saw Texas lose as well. Just
that
really,
damn
really
Oregon
just
game, man.
no field goals,
Oh,
bro.
yeah. You want to go ahead and talk about that?
Yeah, Oscar, you can interrupt me, please, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
it just
God.
the Get It Right Saturday Night crew, we all got together that day, spent the day together, decided we were gonna watch the game. So I put some light money on the game. I think it was like $8 or something like that. And essentially all I was betting on, in my opinion at least, was the over for Jeremiah Smith yards, which was 79.5. And then to make it a two-leg parlay, I put that I took the over on Oregon field goals, which was one field goal, it was 0.5. So all that needed to happen was Oregon needed to kick a field goal, one field goal, and Jeremiah Smith needed to have 80 receiving yards. Jeremiah Smith had over 80 receiving yards within the first 2 minutes of the game. And Oregon never kicked a field goal.
Ah, man.
Yeah, so that was fun. That was pretty. That was a fun night.
That was a very fun night.
Wow, that was pretty hysterical. I can't lie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so back to what I was saying. As much as I'd love to see Texas in the finals, because my cousin's fiance is a Texas fan, so I was rooting for them. But
Dog, what?
but I'm just gonna say this. Coach Tanner has been an OG since day one. I remember us on Fitness Fridays running around the basketball courts, and I see him wearing his gray Ohio State windbreaker. I remember this vividly, right?
Yeah.
Coach Tanner, he's the man. You guys don't know him. He was our PE coach back in elementary school when Colin and I went to elementary school together. We do Fitness Fridays. It's very fun. We rotate every 5 minutes to different stations of fitness and stuff. But I don't know. I don't really care. It was a great way to get away from Miss Bogert. Yada yada yada. But
Okay.
but look,
What moon?
Ohio State is a insane offense, and of course Notre Dame defense has been, I believe, the best in college football, if I'm not mistaken. So really exciting matchup. But I think I got to go with Ohio State because of Coach Tanner, man. I love that guy to death. Legend himself. If he wins, if they win, honestly, next time I go back to Miami, I'm gonna go visit Palmetto Elementary, and I'm gonna go stop by Coach Tanner's and let him know that I was rooting for him. College football playoffs.
Oscar,
Well,
what do you got?
I think I'm gonna agree with you, Colin. I think Ohio State's gonna win. I personally don't care about either of these two teams to see who wins. Now, what I will say is, for a comedy, in a comedy sense, I hope Notre Dame wins, and that pains me to say that as a UM fan, because I really don't like them, rivalry team and stuff. But if they do win, I feel like we're gonna get some incredible clips from Shane Gillis on college game day, and him throwing some with him having some great banter with Nick Saban, as he already has throughout the playoffs so far. Also, Notre Dame has been a pretty good team to watch. I don't know if you guys saw the Notre Dame Penn State game at the Orange Bowl. It was a great,
Yeah.
amazing game from
That was a
start to
great game.
finish. Yeah. No, I mean, both of those teams are really good. Obviously not the final. A lot of people expected. Most people expected Oregon to come out of that side of the bracket, and
I
Texas to
did.
come out of
I did.
the other side of that bracket. But you know what? I'm really excited to see what happens in Atlanta, and hopefully we get some good content, man. That's all I'm saying. Oh, and if Notre Dame wins, wouldn't it be a game? Wouldn't it be a game? Because I don't know if you gentlemen know this or not, but the season opener for Miami next year is Notre Dame at home at the Rock.
I did not know that.
So that would be a great game to kick off Carson Beck's season at Miami.
Yeah, y'all boys gonna get.
Yeah, they're gonna
get
start off
dogged on.
0-1, bro.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, well,
Probably not.
I
Come
think
on,
it's gonna
it's
be
all
a
about the
great
U.
game. So, no, it's never been about the U, but it's all good.
It's always
all right.
been about the U, sir.
No.
right. All right, buddy.
No.
How many
Yo,
national
go
championships
Diggers,
do you
bro. I
have?
don't know about you, dude. That's all I gotta say. You know, D2, the best D2 in the country.
Yeah, of course.
5-4. 5-4, buddy.
For what?
Isn't that how many national championships you guys have? Or not even? How many is it 3 or 4?
Who are you talking about? Florida State?
Yeah?
Yeah, we have 3.
Oh.
We have 3.
So
Yeah.
I was being generous. You wished you would have 4.
Yeah, that's true. But at least we've won one since we've been alive. So I'll take that.
But do you have 16?
Yeah, shut the heck up.
Do you have 16 though?
You know who has 16 actual national championships?
Alright.
Yale.
Yale.
Some damn Bulldogs.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the NFL. Finally, I can talk about something I know
Thank
about. All right,
God.
so NFL playoffs have started already. We are entering the divisional round of the playoffs this week. But first, let's take a look back at last week in the wild card round. So, first game. I thought this was the most boring of the matchups, Chargers versus Texans. Honestly, I picked the Chargers. They got dogged on. Justin Herbert.
Wow.
4
You actually
interceptions.
picked the Chargers?
Yes, I picked the Chargers.
He's putting up some
But we've-
DJ ukulele
we've-
But
stats
come
over
on,
there.
you can't tell me that the Chargers that he was gonna throw 4 interceptions. Like, what?
But we've known about Justin Herbert's playoff woes
No,
for
not
some
really.
time now. Yeah,
But I would attribute that to Brandon Staley personally.
well, clearly
That's
it's
my
not
personal
attributed to
I'm
Brandon
just
Staley
saying.
because this has been his worst outing.
That
Houston,
is true.
Houston had playoff experience. The Chargers had
But
it.
so did the Chargers, especially Justin Herbert, who's largely to blame.
Yeah, but dude, Justin Herbert
Shout
was
out
throwing
Ladd
at
McConkey,
nobody.
though.
Yeah,
Shout out Ladd
Bro,
That-
McConkey.
great
only
player.
threw to Ladd McConkey and no one else.
Well, hold on, I want to. Yeah, see, look at this.
Out of his 242 yards,
yeah.
197 of them went to Ladd McConkey.
Then 197 yards. The second player is the tight end with 16 yards. That's funny stuff right there.
That's
Yeah,
insane, man.
I mean, they don't have a receiver. I mean, Quentin Johnson had 0 cat. Like, I mean, what are we doing?
it's because they gave
so-
up Keenan Allen, bro. Absolute idiots.
Yeah. Then next was the Steelers and the Ravens. This kind of went as we expected. The Ravens won that game.
Well, no, it
Um,
was a more interesting game at least.
I mean, at the beginning it was.
yeah,
well,
especially the first half. Russell Wilson played pretty good. All
no,
things
I'm saying at
considered.
the beginning it was bad. They were up 21-0, and then the Ravens. The Steelers scored 2 touchdowns in the third quarter, but it was
Yeah,
never
but-
really a game.
Yeah, but Derrick Henry, bro.
No, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, and
Derrick
Derrick Henry
Henry,
is just absolute unit.
Absolute stud.
Yeah. So the Ravens
Home.
move on.
Auto, home, auto.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Sunday during the day, Broncos versus Bills. They went up 7-0, and I was feeling optimistic, and then they just decided to stop playing the
Annihilation.
rest of the
Me
game.
too, bro.
This is the This is Chiefs propaganda. This is Chiefs manipulation. This is like league scheduling for the Chiefs. Because realistically, if the Chiefs would have played as they should have and actually played some of their good players and not thrown that last game, we probably would have seen the Cincinnati Bengals in this playoff games. And oh brother, is that way more exciting to talk about. That if possibility, that fake scenario, that hypothetical, than this dog pile of a game that we get.
Yeah, but
That's
Broncos
true.
country, bro. We were riding. We were
They
we
rode off a cliff,
we
brother.
we
No, they rode off Niagara Falls.
No, no,
What,
no. We
what are
we
we
were
doing?
riding, bro.
Do
We
you
were riding.
understand that Joe Burrow was putting up generational numbers just to keep
Yes,
this
we know.
Cincinnati team
Of course, when you win the
I-
fantasy
of course I
championship
know.
with Joe Burrow,
Of course I know.
yes,
Joe
sir.
Burrow was my quarterback, and T.
Yeah.
Higgins was my receiver. Of
Me
course I know.
too.
They
Of course
carried
we
me
know.
in the finals. I
And
won by
us
7
as
points.
NFL fans received this mediocrity on Saturday, when in reality, these set of games should all be played to the highest level. But instead, the NFL,
I don't
in accordance
appreciate
to
the
helping the
Broncos
Chiefs
slander.
out, allowed this terribly compared to the rest of the field in the playoffs, managed team into the dance. This
the
team had no
Broncos
business,
slander is
no
is
business being
not
here.
necessary.
No, look, during the regular seasons, I admire the Broncos. I root for them. But stay in your lane, buddy. You have no business being in the playoffs. It should have. Honestly,
That's
I'm mad at
true.
two people. I'm mad at two people. The NFL for allowing the Chiefs to let this travesty happen, and the Cincinnati Bengals front office for not doing the job and being a bunch of lazy workers sitting on their back relying on Joe Burrow's handsome looks. Get him some defensive players. What are we doing? You think back.
Oh man.
You think back and look at some of the all-time great playoff games we've witnessed in the last 5 years. And what do you look at immediately? What stands out? What pops out to the eye? Even not even playoff games, just regular season games as well. Cincinnati Bengals versus Kansas City Chiefs. Burrow versus Mahomes. All right, the only quarterback that has actually put up some competition
my
against
God.
him. And nobody let them in. Why are we doing this? You know, in life, there are three rules. There are three
I can't.
rules. You drive German, you dress Italian, and the Chiefs always get it their way.
Bro.
Oh man.
Wow, this is great stuff right here. Oh man.
That's a
All
good
right.
one.
So the next game was the NFC, first NFC game. So Packers versus the Eagles. The Eagles won. They didn't look very good. I believe Jalen Hurts did not complete a pass for 2 straight quarters. I heard that from the one and only Stephen A. Smith, of course. That's where you get all of your useful information from.
That is
And
ridiculous.
Jordan Love threw 3 interceptions. I don't know what's going on with quarterbacks throwing this many interceptions, but 3 interceptions is not going to get it done for you. And Saquon Barkley had a very nice game as well. So, yeah, that was this game. I don't know if there's a
Yeah.
whole lot to talk about here.
No, nothing
And
really.
then Commanders versus Buccaneers. This was a very good game. Came down to the wire. Game-winning field goal by the Washington Commanders. Both teams, I thought, played very well. The stats on both sides look pretty similar.
Yep.
And yeah, it was a good game. I wanted Tampa to win. I'm kind of sad, but Jaden Daniels playing very, very well.
Indeed.
And then this game, let me just say something. All right, this might have been the best defensive performance I've seen in my life. Okay, I don't know
Oh,
if you guys
brother.
watched this game. Did you guys watch the game?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Look, how can you disagree with me, Oscar? This was.
I don't think it's the best defensive performance I've ever seen in my life, but it was a
I
really
think
good
it is.
defensive performance. However, I think it has more to do with the Minnesota Vikings, their offense, and not even just their offense, but their entire team relying on their schedule of this year and them being exposed for who
Well,
they're
look,
really
we all
I
know
wouldn't
it's
say
it's Vikings things to have a good regular season and then lose in the first game of the playoffs. All right, we all know that the Vikings do this. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that the Rams defense, they had 9 sacks, 6 of them in the first half, an interception, and a fumble return for a touchdown. Now, I will say a lot of that was Sam Darnold's fault. He held onto the ball like he had all day. It was ridiculous. But the Rams' pressure and their man coverage defense was elite. It was elite. I've never seen anything like that before. I'm not even gonna lie.
And they had a
And
few defensive players hurt as well.
yeah, that is true. That is true. So, let me see if I can find it here. I don't know. I don't know if it'll say, but yeah, sacks is not on here, but they had 9 sacks. It was very impressive. And
I think that, like I
The
said, I
Rams
think
are
that
look
lies
good.
more on Minnesota, rather Minnesota,
Minnesota.
rather than the Rams
the Rams.
themselves.
See,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Like I said, a lot of it was Sam Darnold's fault, but I mean, come on, the Rams look really good.
With all
in
due
my opinion.
respect, and I truly do say this with all due respect, but when you have your starting quarterback named Sam Darnold and you're heading into the playoffs, it's not the biggest confidence boost.
No. I cannot take the Sam Darnold slander.
I agree.
because
I agree with Mark.
Like I said,
because
I say it with
Sam
all due
Darnold
respect.
proved everyone wrong. He proved everyone
Yeah.
and their mother wrong. He played amazing. He was top 6 in MVP. He was a front runner for MVP, top 6. The slander, not appreciated, right?
I agree.
He's a good player.
I'm not
He's a
sitting
good
here
player.
saying he's a
You-
god, but like
yeah,
you
you-
can't just say, "Oh, I knew he was bad." No, come on. Like,
No.
That's
stop,
not
stop.
what I said.
That's what you mean.
That's what you
No,
mean,
that's
though.
not
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean.
That's what
yeah.
you're thinking.
No. I
Alright,
just
go ahead.
think he's not of the necessary caliber that you need to win a not frankly just a playoff game. I think you can win a playoff game with him, but
Me too.
to get to the
I
conference
agree.
championship
I
game,
agree with you.
you
Oscar,
can't have
I
him
agree
under
with you.
center to get to the
I
conference
agree.
championship.
I agree, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the wild card round. And this guy, you can't. Okay, fine. You know what? Whatever.
Let's
whatever.
just
We'll
move
see.
on to the
We'll see.
division.
All right.
So we,
So, typically, I go here and I'm like, all right, who do you think's gonna win each game? But guess what? We're gonna do the same. I thought it was a really fun thing that we did last year, and that is this website. I don't know who created this website, but I love you.
this website.
So, we're gonna go one by one. Oscar, you're starting. Who is winning each game? We'll start up here. Texans, Chiefs. Who you got?
As much as I would love the Texans to win, it's gonna be the
Yes,
Chiefs.
we know. Chiefs. All right. Ravens and the Bills. Very good game. I'm very excited to watch this one.
Now, do we get a rematch? Either way, we get a rematch. But do we get a rematch of the 2023 conference championship game? No, 2024 conference championship game, or the 2022 conference championship game? Right? I'm correct when I say that. 2024
beats me, brother.
2024 was Baltimore Chiefs in Baltimore. I mean, yeah, it was Ravens Chiefs in Baltimore last year, and then 2022 was
3. Well, technically it's 23 because it's the 23 season, but last year was
No, you're right. It's 2021, not 22. You're right.
2021.
Yes, because
No.
2022.
Just
yeah,
pick your
no.
damn winner, bro.
2021
Alright,
was
look, we're talking about
2021
history
was the Bengals. 2021
Exactly.
was the Bengals.
here. No.
What do you-
What?
Yes, it was.
Are you
21
sure?
was the
no.
Bengals. I'm very
21
sure.
was not the Bengals.
Yeah, it was. 21 was the Bengals. Bengals Chiefs.
Wasn't it
never
22? 22 was Bengals Chiefs.
22 was
Bengals Chiefs.
no, 22 was the Chiefs versus and the Bengals. Yes, but that was the Bengals.
So I was right.
Yeah.
I was right in saying 2022 then.
No, you Bengals. 2022 is the Bengals, not the Bills. The Bengals.
Yo, just choose who's gonna win, bro.
All right. Either way.
Either way, it's a rematch. We know that. It's just who's gonna win it.
I think Baltimore is just slightly the better team, but if Josh Allen is on his day, give me the Ravens.
Yes. Ravens. Got you. All right. Commanders, Lions.
I'm gonna keep it quick here. Give me the Lions.
Lions. Okay. And then the Rams versus the Eagles.
You know what? Give me the loss. No, I'm kidding. Give me the Eagles.
Okay. Cool. So very similar matchups to what we had last year. So
Whoa.
same thing, rematch of the AFC Championship game. So Ravens, Chiefs. Who do you got going to the Super Bowl?
Give me the Ravens.
The Ravens. All right, it's a little switch up. All right, and then in the NFC, who's it gonna be?
Give me the Philadelphia Eagles.
Whoa.
In the battle of the
What?
birds. In the battle of the running
Birds,
backs.
go Birds.
In the battle of the MVP candidates.
Now this is wait, what?
Wait, what?
I mean, okay,
Okay.
I guess, but
The
go ahead.
battle of the
go ahead.
birds.
I
the
like
battle
this.
Of
I
the
like
running
this
backs.
matchup.
The battle of
The
the
Huzz.
MVP candidates.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, who is winning the 2024 Super Bowl?
I can't stand Philly sports. And for that reason, give me the Baltimore Ravens.
The Baltimore Ravens, Lucas Neto, and the city of Baltimore is winning the Super Bowl. Well, you see,
That
that's
St.
city's
Louis.
gonna get shot up if they win.
All right,
Louis.
everyone, take a screenshot of this. This is going to be very fun to look back on later. So, Oscar, this is your NFL
Are you
playoff
taking
bracket.
a screenshot? Are you taking a screenshot? Or you want me to do that?
I'm not, but it's in the video, so we got it.
Okay, we got it.
All right,
Perfect.
Mark Francis,
All right.
your turn.
Give me the Chiefs. Moving
The
on.
Chiefs. Yep.
And Baltimore and Bills, both great teams.
It's gonna be
I-
honestly for me. I think that's gonna be the game of the playoffs. Sorry, didn't mean
Yeah,
to cut you off.
I
Mark, but-
think so too, and I think Baltimore is gonna take that game on a game-winning field goal.
Wow. Very
Moving into the
interesting.
Justin
division.
Tucker.
Washington, great team.
Let's just stop.
but
We already know.
the
We already know.
Lions,
Just stop.
you know.
You know what? Let's just do that. Okay.
Yeah,
Who do you
yeah.
got? Yeah. You know what? Let's just do that. Let's just do that.
Yeah, no. Okay. I have the Lions winning. I do. I genuinely do.
Okay.
But-
It could
But-
be their year. They're very strong,
but,
man.
Look, the Rams are making the NFC Conference Championship.
Oh, okay. I
think
like
so.
that. I like that.
I
Okay.
think between Baltimore and Kansas City, I think Kansas City comes out on top due to
Okay.
referees being paid or something. Okay.
Okay. All right. So the
And-
last game of the 2024 regular season is the first game of the 2023 regular season. I
Yeah.
see what you're doing here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But-
and
Being a
there's no
repeat of the result.
And it's going to be a repeat of the result, 20 to
Oh.
17.
Wow.
and
Okay.
The Lions are going to win.
So the Lions are going to their first ever Super Bowl, and they're winning their first ever Super Bowl.
yes,
That's a very
yes, sir.
bold prediction as
Yes,
you are.
sir.
So far we have.
You know what?
Don't
if that
don't
happens-
count
We
out
have
the
this,
Rams, though. Do
and
not
then we
count
have
out
this.
the Rams.
If that happens, I'll be a happy man because at least that way a German would have won the Super Bowl.
Look,
Oh my
do
God,
not
bro.
count out
Sure.
the Rams,
Okay.
though. They're a strong team. Their defense
agree.
is strong.
Oh,
Do not
That's what I'm
count them out.
saying. That's what I said. All right.
Puka
So
Nakua is also like blowing up,
I
and
have-
No.
leading every
Who cares
stat
about
category
Puka?
for receivers.
Who cares about Puka? Their defense.
okay. I see what you're saying. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. All right. Chiefs. Here we go. All right. Now, very interesting. I don't want this to happen, but I have Buffalo beating the Baltimore Ravens. All right. I just have a gut feeling. I think that's what's gonna happen. All right. Up here, Commanders have a chance, but I'm gonna go with the Lions. And then Mark, see, I kind of agree with you. Like, first I had the Eagles, and then after this Vikings game, now I'm taking the Rams. But
Yeah.
I could literally see it going either way. I think this is a pretty close game. I'm gonna stick with Philadelphia, my original prediction. I don't know why.
Okay.
I think that's what's gonna happen. So the three of us all have completely different conference champion picks. So
Yep.
very interesting. And then I have Kansas City beating Buffalo, and I have Philadelphia beating Detroit.
Not another one of these Super Bowls, bro. Oh my
yeah,
god.
I think it's gonna be a matchup. And then
brother.
I just I gotta go with the three-peat. Kansas
Dude.
City Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl
Dude.
again.
Dude,
Why,
no.
you may ask? Because they have
Dude.
one guy, and you only need one guy. Patrick Mahomes.
And then you were getting mad at me for my freaking Sam Darnold take.
What's wrong with Sam? What's up with Sam Darnold?
That you were saying you were saying that you only need one guy and they have that guy, and I agree with you. And it's the freaking best player in the National Football League, Patrick Mahomes. 180, say hi. With his very iconic and
I'm confused.
unique
All I know is that the
cadence.
Lions are winning the bowl.
okay.
Okay, now look, I
I
will
don't know if
say
I
this
agree
though.
with that, but
If I did this, right? If I picked the Rams, I'm just picking the Rams to beat the Lions. It's not going to be this.
Wow.
It's going to be that. I
Wow.
think this has a better chance than this. But overall,
Wow.
I'm going with that. That's my Super Bowl pick. So we have Oscar is going like this. Ravens Eagles, and he's got the Ravens.
Now,
And then Mark's
let me just quickly
Chiefs Lions.
touch
Yeah.
up on
Go
one of my
Lions.
decisions, which I see both of you are picking the Rams over the Eagles, and while
No. I'm going with the Eagles. I want to make that clear. I think the Rams have a very good chance at winning. I will not be surprised if they win. But to pick one team, I'm sticking with the Eagles. I got the Eagles.
look at this guy and his life insurance policies, eh? Always
No,
covering his back.
Whoa, I'm just
Afraid
saying.
to
Look,
take a stand.
bro, this is my pick.
It's
This
okay
is my
because
picks. These are my
my
picks.
bracket's gonna be right. It's okay. It's okay, guys. It's okay.
You know, he
Don't
says
worry.
this
I
all the
got this.
time, even during our predictions, and I clearly, I don't know if you have our records call in, but our records speak for themselves.
I do have them. You won. Congratulations. I wasn't really close.
What I would like to say is, with the Eagles specifically in this game versus the Rams, I think a lot of people, like you said, are looking at the two games that just happened over this past week, and you look at the Rams, you're like, wow, they dominated those Minnesota Vikings. And you look at the
They didn't dominate the Minnesota Vikings. They dominated their last 7 teams they played up against.
they won, but I don't think they
Mic drop.
dominated all 7.
No, they did. No, they did.
Oh, but guess who won? Guess who beat them? Yes, sir. Let's go.
Yeah, all that for us to not
Sorry.
make the playoffs.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Next year. There's always next year.
Oh, buddy.
Sound like the Cowboys.
Yeah.
There's always next year.
There's always
I didn't
next
say we're
year.
gonna win. I'm saying there's always next year.
Anyways,
Ooh. Also, did you guys get that Neymar ESPN notification?
I did
I did.
indeed.
yes, I did.
Chicago Fire.
That's
He's
the
gonna
team
play for
that
Miami, bro.
That's the team that my favorite player of all time played for.
He
at
has
one
a
point,
house in
back
Miami.
since
He has a
Schweinsteiger.
house. He has a house on Indian Creek. He's gonna play for Miami, bro.
Anyways, gentlemen, I'd like to finish my point. You look
Sure.
at these two teams, and they both won, but they both won in very different facets. Obviously, LA playing a much more appealing brand of football, but you look at the team the Eagles have, and you look at they're definitely going to take this week to take a look back at that game and be like, okay, we need to figure out why this was such a dud of a game, and why our offense wasn't flowing when we have so many amazing options and great weapons on offense, such as Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Heisman winner Devontae Smith. And they're definitely going to figure something out, and they're going to game plan for that Rams defense. It's going to be a really great game. I think it's going to be the second best game of the weekend, right behind that Baltimore Bills games. And I just think that Philly's gonna find a way to get through on star power, on specifically Saquon Barkley.
Look, man, they
I
can
think
game
he's
plan
gonna-
all they want,
I think he's
but
gonna
AJ Brown's still
capitalize-
gonna be reading his book on the sideline, so it's not gonna matter.
No, I know, but
Bruh.
I think Saquon is just gonna capitalize on this opportunity that he's been gifted.
Well,
By finally being in the playoffs. Wait, no, he was once with the Giants, right? With that
Well,
time they beat.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
they
mean,
beat
we
the Vikings.
know
Oh, right,
we know what
Minnesota.
we know what happened last time Saquon played the Rams. He went for like 260 yards, so it's
That is
possible.
true.
But that
That
was
is very
also
true.
when the Rams were like 1-5. So let's see what changed.
But they were now 1-5. Come on.
No, they were really bad.
Either
Alright,
way,
Well, this is Oscars,
yeah.
and
I think Philly's
this
gonna
is
find a way to
Mark's,
get through in that game.
and this is mine. So
Yep.
those are very, very different. We don't
I will
have
say
really a
this:
whole lot to say.
if Philly's
Same.
not in the conference championship game, I think Detroit goes to the Super Bowl. But
See, I just don't think Detroit's gonna go to. I just have such a hard time seeing that happen. It's Detroit.
You're just a Dan Campbell hater, bro. It's alright.
No, I'm not.
I
like
just
I
think
just,
they're
I
more
just.
of a cursed organization. I think they have so
Yeah,
many great.
of
I
course.
love their team, bro. They're so amazing, but I don't know.
Yeah,
They're just a
I
little
agree.
cursed.
Well,
Alright,
that's
guys. Well, thank you for tuning in to the first episode back of the Get It Right Saturday Night podcast. Pretty good one. Pretty nice one. We missed out on a lot of things, but, lots of
Yeah,
stuff
we
coming into the future.
one thing we missed out on.
don't think there's gonna be upsets this week. Sorry, gentlemen.
Unfortunately. But baseball season coming up soon in the next few months. Basketball in
True.
full fledged. Lots of things going on. Lots of things to talk about. So we'll see you guys next week. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Peace and love.
See you
See
guys.
ya.